All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into Nepal.
Uh-huh.
And, we're going way beyond just your basic travel facts here.
Right.
Using this pasted text you gave me to kind of get to the heart of what makes Nepal such a unique place.
Yeah.
It's landlocked, right?
It is.
In South Asia.
Uh-huh.
And, everyone knows it for the Himalayas.
Of course.
But there's so much more going on.
Absolutely.
Like this whole blend of culture history just woven into those mountains.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So are you ready to dive in?
I am.
Okay, so the Himalayas, right?
Yeah.
Home to Everest.
Yeah.
Highest peak in the world.
That's right. 8 of the world's 14 tallest mountains are in Nepal.
Wow.
So it's like a paradise for anyone who loves to climb or trek.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not just the mountains themselves.
Yeah.
It's like their cultural and spiritual significance to the Nepalese people.
Absolutely.
So what can you tell me about that connection?
Well, you have to understand the Himalayas aren't just a backdrop in Nepal. They're really intertwined with the people's identity. Like, think about it. Ancient Hindu myths talk about gods living in these peaks. And Buddhists believe there's this sacred energy flowing through them.
Wow.
And that reverence for the mountains, it shapes everything.
Really?
Their art, their festivals, even their daily lives.
Wow, that's powerful. And speaking of history, we've got to talk about the Kathmandu Valley.
Oh, yeah.
7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
I know, it's incredible.
All in one valley. That's got to be some kind of record, right?
It's definitely a testament to the valley's historical power and cultural influence.
For sure.
For centuries, it was like this major trading hub, so it attracted all kinds of people, artisans, scholars, religious figures.
Right.
And that fusion of influences is what makes places like Patan Bhaktapur and Kathmandu so fascinating. They're not just old cities, they're like living museums with palaces, temples, and stupas that have been standing for centuries.
It's amazing to think about, and of course this is where the Buddha was born.
Yes, Siddhartha Gautama in Lumbini.
So that adds another whole layer of spiritual significance to the region, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Lumbini is a major pilgrimage site for Buddhists from all over the world.
Wow.
But you can feel that Buddhist influence everywhere, especially in places like the Swayambhunath Stupa, which is often called the Monkey Temple, and the Buddhanath Stupa.
I've seen pictures. They're beautiful.
They are, and they're not just visually stunning, they're active places of worship with rituals and practices that have been passed down for generations.
That's incredible. And from what I've read, Nepal has this really interesting mix of Hinduism and Buddhism.
Yeah, you see it everywhere, really.
And it seems like that's reflected in their festivals too, right?
Oh, definitely think about Hale, the Festival of Colors.
Right.
It's celebrated with just as much energy and joy in Nepal as it is in India.
Uh-huh.
And then there's Dashain, the longest Hindu festival in Nepal, a time for families to come together and perform these really elaborate rituals. And then there's Tihar, the Festival of Lights, where they honor animals and decorate their homes with oil lamps, kind of like Diwali in India.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, these festivals are like a window into the soul of Nepal. They show this vibrant tapestry of different beliefs and traditions all woven together.
That's so cool. And speaking of unique things, Nepal's flag is pretty special too, right?
Oh yeah, it's the only non-rectangular national flag in the world.
What?
It's got these 2 overlapping triangles
Wow.
that symbolize the Himalayas and the unity of the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a real visual representation of their distinct identity.
I love that. And it's not just the flag, it's the people too.
Oh, the Nepalese people are known for their incredible hospitality.
Right, I read about that.
It's this concept of Atithi Devo Bhava, which means the guest is God.
Wow.
It's a deep cultural value of respecting and honoring guests.
That's beautiful. And we've talked about the culture and the spirituality, but Nepal is also a huge destination for adventure seekers, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's trekking, whitewater rafting, paragliding, even bungee jumping.
It's all there. The landscapes are just incredible.
Yeah.
It's a natural playground for thrill seekers. You can trek through the Himalayas raft, down these wild rivers, paraglide over stunning valleys.
Right.
You can even do one of the highest bungee jumps in the world over the Boat Koshi River.
Oh my gosh.
It's a side of Nepal that contrasts so beautifully with the peaceful temples and the ancient traditions.
Right, it's like this perfect blend of extremes. So we've explored these towering peaks, the ancient cities, the vibrant festivals, the adrenaline-pumping adventures.
It's quite a place.
What would you say is the one thing that really sets Nepal apart from other travel destinations?
I think it's the way Nepal blends all these contrasting elements together so seamlessly. You can be trekking through a high mountain pass one day, and then the next day you're immersed in the spiritual rituals of an ancient temple.
Wow.
It's a place where you can push your physical limits and also explore your spiritual side, all surrounded by this incredible natural beauty.
That's a really powerful image. Nepal really does offer this multi-dimensional experience.
It does.
It's a place that can inspire you, challenge you, and even transform you.
I think that's a great way to put it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm curious, what part of Nepal resonated with you the most? What really sparked your imagination, and what would you want to learn more about?
That's a good question.
Yeah, just something to think about as you continue your own journey of discovery.
I like that.
All right, thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Nepal.
It was my pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And we'll see you next time.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.